Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Backstage Bimbo TV. It's me, Allison Rouse, your most notorious groupie and author of We've Got Tonight, The Life and Times of Notorious Groupie, me. That's right, folks. Welcome back. Welcome to all the new members. I really appreciate you guys so much. We're coming along with new subscribers. Thank you so much for everybody who's spreading my page, stuff like that. And to the guys like, I love sluts, I don't want you on my page. Seriously. Don't talk to me like that. I don't talk to you like that. Do unto others as you would have done to yourself. Okay? So, this week on our Rocky Talkie, we're going to get into a subject that a lot of people ask me about. My personal life. I give so much of my personal life away in the book, and I always say this book is only half the story because I have to keep something for myself. I have to keep something that's just mine. But so I'm gonna kind of get into more what it is like to date a rock star versus a normal guy, and non-rock or normal, because I've dated non-rock and normal guys, and I say non-rock because one's an international corporation owner, one's a Saudi prince, one is a professional snowboarder. So these are not normal men. These are non-rock men, but I have dated normal men, just normal jobs, stuff like that, and it's perplexed me quite a bit. So, and this week I'm just on, like our Rocky Talkies, I'm just going to kind of freeball it. This is one of our locals, Salt Flats. One of my favorite, this is my favorite, this Kilted Harley Scottish Ale. So delicious, and it's High Point too, so gives a good buzz. All right, everybody, kick up your kilts, kick up your feet, and let's have a little Rocky Talkie, shall we? All right, hold on. Yummy. Cheers, big ears. Okay, guys. So, now, obviously, I have dated a lot more rock stars than I have normal men, and this commentary is going to be 100% based on my experience with friends, stuff like that, So, I don't want everybody to take it so personally or rudely or anything like that, but this is just my experience dipping between the different worlds as far as romance and heart and soul and stuff goes. So obviously I've dated rock stars since I was 15, and it's a very, very different world. You can't lie to each other very much. There's a certain non-spoken, open and honesty, respectful honesty and communication that you have to have with your rock star. Because let's face it, if you're dating them past the one night stand, in your city, you have to have honesty because you are never 20 feet away from this person. So there's a certain level of honesty and communication that I was very much used to, very spoiled with, if I want to, be honest about it. Because in the rock world, you are very coddled, you are very spoiled, you are very protected all the time. You live in a very different world, and that different world consists of you basically living with the guy the next time you see him, if you go out on the road with him. So there has to be an honesty, so you know what you're getting into. And rock guys respect women like that. They don't like say things to hurt them or to say, but you have to have a communication and honesty about what you're doing here, what you're doing with this guy, why you're seeing him again. Are you going to be the road wife? Are you actually dating to see where this goes? Or you just a girl he likes to see from time and time again and float out of the road, which all are fine, but it's always clear. There's no bullshit. As to where dating, normal men, and I haven't had a whole lot. I've only dated online once. And Jesus, like I said, you can't, guys dating normally, like online and stuff, I don't get into that because there's such a fake facade. As we all know, to dating online, there's a huge facade that you can hide behind this computer screen. As to where, like I said, on the road with the rock stars, they're not hiding behind anything. Their facades are on the stage every night. They want to get rid of them when they're dating, when they're in their normal life, when they're off stage. But normal guys they don't get that facade, so they want to create one for themselves. So there's a lot of deception into dating in the normal world, and as to where, dating a rock star, because also a rock star's life is open to the public, especially these days. Now, when I first started hanging out with rock stars, you had to rely on the honesty, as I've said before, the rock star that you were with, about what was going on at home. But now these days, it's much easier with rock stars. Like I said, there is a blatant knowledge of what is going on at home or not going on at home, so you can kind of gauge from there what you want to do with this guy. As to where dating the normal guy, like I said, their lives are not out there. So the normal guy can tell you, especially if you're long distance dating or online dating, he can tell you lies and say, oh, no, you're the only one. The only one. And then 5 minutes after he's done talking to you, get online or go meet up at a coffee shop, blah, blah, blah. So for me, there's a lot more deception to dating a normal guy than there is a rock star, simply because of the nature of their existences in this world. Normal men can hide a lot more. Rock stars, they can't, because their every move is being watched. Not the normal guys. And trust me, my last relationship was with my childhood sweetheart. He traveled for a living, just a normal job, blue-collar guy. 23 side horse. 23! All, hidden profiles on Facebook or Tinder or fuckme.com, whatever they are. Things that I had never, ever, ever had any experience with and not had to deal with rock stars. Like I said, there's such a level of communication between you and the musician than there is the normal guy, because the normal guy wants to be larger than life and introduce himself, while the rock star already is. But so, and I learned real quick in my last relationship how to spot this stuff online. And seriously, and normal women are way more catty because they have nothing to fucking lose. 23 side whores all went on my book page because they hated that I was living with this guy and that we were actually in a relationship. They knew it. And, this is one thing that both rock and normal dating have in common. If the women know it, there are some women that don't give a rat's ass. And it's usually women who don't have a lot of experience in rock and roll, because the women in rock and roll, we're not stupid, and we have a lot of strength inside of ourselves with our heart and souls, because we know the possibilities, we know what can happen, and we know we have to be extra forgiving. But also, when it comes to normal men and rock stars, as far as temptation and cheating, I'm going to tell you right now, the rock stars actually cheat less. And here's why. Because the rock stars have women at their feet all the time. It's not the novelty it is to a normal guy. It becomes boring and sad. So the rock stars are looking for more than these hookups. As to where normal guys, if they're married, have a girlfriend, whatever, they're used to this normal kind of dating life or married life or kind of vanilla. It's your typical dating kind of thing. So when they get a ton of women at their feet, oh, well, aren't I a rock star, says the normal guy. And the temptation for the normal guy is a lot more enticing than it is for the rock star. Because like I said, for the rock star, meh, whatever. They grow out of that bullshit after a few tours. After the age of 25, 30, whatever. As to where, and of course there's midlife crises in both, but normal men, in my opinion, in my experience, have never really grow out of that. Like, they need that validation, because as a stripper, that's one thing I knew I was selling to the normal guys who came into my strip club. Attention, affection, fantasy, butterflies of dating and stuff. And I would rather have my man go into a strip club to find that than go on to Tinder or boredhousewives.com or Cheaters or whatever it is. Whatever these websites, I don't know, because I don't use them. Because it's all fake, it's all facade. And we all know how I feel about rock stars. You put that facade in your road case once you leave that stage. Plain and simple. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I want the real man. I want the truth. I want honesty and communication, because honesty and communication is what you build a relationship off of. And I have that 100% with rock stars, but with the normal guys, honesty and communication is what they want you to hear. And you get about this much honesty and about that much communication. So for me, dating normal guys has been really hard, and not to mention because of my past. Because, people have such a, when you're sitting in the front of the stage, you have such a different idea of what the rock stars are. You Google them, you see what the world wants, what they want the world to see and stuff like that. But then you get to the groupies, and we're all just dumb whores. And so dating a normal guy, there's always the girls or the guy friends that are whispering in their ear, how could you date a whore like that? Oh my God. Is she going to leave you the next band that comes in town? You couldn't date. I mean, you need someone that's better than that. So there's all that goes on behind the normal guy. As to where the rockers, they may be like, hey, did you see the chick that so-and-so is dating, the new chick? Or, Vinny's dating Allison again, whatever. That's it. There's not much gossip or talk about what's going on, because who gives a rat's ass, or we're just trying to keep everything quiet and keep all that stuff away. So, gossip about who you're dating is more vicious and prevalent in the normal world than it is with rock stars. Because even with rock stars, it's not other rock stars and roadies and groupies that are gossiping. It's the normal people, the fans, that are gossiping about their personal life. For any entertainer. I mean, look at the Kardashians. Come on. Everybody's so up in arms. There's this Pete guy dating Kim, and I'm a groupie. I wouldn't fuck that guy. But everybody's so up in arms. So everybody, like I talked about James Hetfield and his missing wedding rings. I've gotten a million emails. You guys should get back together. Well, it's not what you guys want. It's what I want, and what the reality behind it is, because that's what you guys don't see. So in the normal world, dating a normal guy, for me, there's always going to be that gossip. There's always going to be that high society look down onto the likes of me. And it's going to get to the guy. It's going to get a play on his empty abyss of an ego and the insecurities that go with that ego. And he's going to be like, is she going to leave me the next time a band comes in town? No, actually, because in reality, I've already sowed all my wild oats. There's no one else I want to fuck or hang out with or stuff like that I already haven't done, and then some. So a woman like me is going to be a lot more faithful, loyal, honest, and communicative, because number one, I have nothing to hide. Number two, like I said, I've already sown all my wild oats. I'm not going anywhere. I was even faithful to the worst man I've ever known in my life in that relationship. Faithful, loyal, honorable, everything. Because that's who groupies are. Because, like I said, even in the rock world, whether it's a one-night stand, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 tours, 10 years, whatever, with someone, there's a whole lot of different respect and honor that goes to being in that type of a relationship in the rock world. As to where, you're just disposable. People are so disposable in the normal world, and I don't get it, because, someone offers you their heart and soul, and you take it with ego and insecurity. That's horrible. I don't get that, because I did spend most of my formative years and most of my adult years very coddled, very respected and spoiled and looked after and communicated with and talked to. Because, if in the normal world, it's okay to be dating other people when you're first starting, or, long distance or whatever. But once you have that talk, or once you kind of solidify yourselves to each other, why, I don't know, why go out to fulfill? Most people in the normal world, I guess for me, in my experience, have dated it with their egos and not their heart and souls. And in rock and roll, it's all heart and soul, because ego is way too much of the room. So when the guys are off the stage, they're looking more for heart and soul than they are for ego. And they find it in women like me. And I'm looking for heart and soul too. And I find it in those rock stars and the roadies and, people in that business, or people in different worlds where money and gratuitous sex and everything is common and boring, as to where they think in the normal world it seems to be a thrill for both men and women, because women are just as sleazy as men can be sometimes. I'm not a man hater, I'm not a woman hater. I think we're all equal in our flaws and our beauties. So, but like I said, like I was saying, the gossip and the drama that goes on with me dating someone, because like I said, with my book and stuff, they think I'm going to just take off with the next band that comes through town or cheat or something, and it's like, no. Been there, done that. I'm looking for something bigger, someone that I can have something pure, that not pure, but that's just our own and not shared with everybody. Because like I said, with my book, I give out so much of my personal life and my private life that I have to keep something for myself. And of course, I'm going to be proud of anybody that I'm with in a relationship. But like I said, I need someone that understands the privacy that I also want to go with it, because I want to enjoy dating someone. I want to enjoy the process like everybody else does, because we're all normal down in the end of things, but it's all your status and your job and whatever. And dating normal people has always been, normal men has always been terrifying for me, because I know the consequences. I know I'm going to be painted this whore. I know that their friends and their insecurities are going to bubble up out of their egos and destroy everything. And they don't communicate and talk like the rockers would, because they can just walk away. They can just ghost you. They can walk out the door and not look back. They can block you on Facebook, unblock you, and play these fucking games. But like I said, with rock and roll, you can't do that. So I'm the type of person that dates that, and this intimidates a lot of normal men, that I'm like, hey, motherfucker, what the hell's going on here? Sit down, let's talk. Because I don't like to yell, I don't like to do that stuff, but normal people get into more drama, because you can't yell when you're having a fight with the rock star, because you're in a hotel room. Everybody can hear you. So you have to have a little bit more of a calmness to things. So, and that's kind of my experience dating normal versus dating rock stars. You know what? There's a lot less ghosting. There's a lot less drama. There's a lot less games. There's more honesty, more communication, more respect for both people in the relationship in the rock world than I have found in the normal world. It's unfortunately the guys I have dated that have given me this impression, because like I said, my last relationship, that guy was on more dating sites in more zip codes than any rock star I've ever known. And trust me, I know Mick Jagger. That's saying something. And just like the only time I dated online, the guy would tell me all this stuff that he was feeling. Like I said, 5 minutes later, get off, be with another girl. The next day, go have coffee with someone. And then turn around and say, oh no, you are the only one. There's no one else. Because you're not right there with them. You don't have this dependency on each other's honesty that you do with normal guys dating, whether it be online or in real person or whatever, that you're not right next to. And things progress very differently in rock and roll than they do out in the normal dating world. So it's always been, I just don't date anymore, to be quite honest. I just don't, because it's all fucked up. And when normal guys they are so quick to throw you out like trash and just to treat you like nothing and to ghost you and to go find that ego boost somewhere else once the butterflies run out. Whereas to rock guys, they can't ghost you. Things will end in some relationships naturally. That's just the way. That's why we date, to find out if that person's right. Nope, move on. So on, so on. But it's a very different, easier, more respectful, long kiss, one last shag, let's have some breakfast. I'll leave you at the airport with a beautiful kiss. Bye. I'm glad I knew you. I'll never forget you. And if I get a divorce, I'll call you. No, I'm kidding. That was Brian Setzer once, and we never hooked up, but So that's kind of my experience between the rock and the dating world. And, it's just for me, it's a more sinister world and more fake and ego boost dating in the real world than it is in the rock world. And like I said, I just don't date anymore because it's all bullshit. And I'm tired of putting my heart and soul out there for egos just to stomp on them. And that's that. So, all right, guys. Thanks for listening to my little rant today on our midweek Rocky Talkie. Again, I appreciate you guys so, so much. And I have an announcement. I've done a couple filmings with the mighty, mighty Danny. I have. Now, Danny's really shy. She prefers her privacy. She doesn't really even talk about that in her normal life. And I will respect that. So I will have her permission before I put them out. Because one of them is the number 3, part 3 from Denver with Metallica. And you're going to hear part of her side of the story of throwing up on the band and stuff. So guys, and I may actually only put that one on my Patreon. And you can only get it if you're a member of my Patreon. Or I even may be able to set it private here so that only my members, only my subscribers can see it. So subscribe, guys. Hit the bells. Hit my like button. And we'll see you on Sunday for some cocktails and rocktails. Cheers, big ears.